We is live on location, man. Episode 353, man. Long journey, man. Long journey. 300 plus episodes, man. We out here, man. Consistency. You already know, man. You already know. Make sure you go like, share, subscribe. TikTok live. What's up? We live on location, like I said, man. Hey, let's talk about it. I got a lot to discuss. Much on the agenda. Okay, so as you see what I got on right now, I'm a die-hard fan. You know, through trials and tribulations, it's tough to be a Washington fan, but you know, we here. We're gonna talk about the NBA, NFL recap, etc. All right. But first, I want to talk about and intro this podcast in regards to Kai Cenat. All right, the streaming world. We in the streaming era. All right, but Kai Cenat, a very popular, famous streamer, got it out the mud. I love what he's doing with his brand and also A&P. I love what they're doing. So Kai Cenat, they're doing this. He's doing a 7-day stream currently. All right, and I'm gonna get my thoughts on that. But you had a lot of conversations about, well, you know, is this degrading to our black community? Is it degrading to our children? And honestly, we're in a world of content. And honestly, I feel like Kai Cenat, looking at it at first, I was just like, but I don't think about it as being corny, because guess what? We glorify all this hood trap music, kill them up, shoot them up, drill music. We influence that. We try to replicate that all the time. So when somebody is trying to do a stream, I understand for those people who have been in prison and have gone to prison, I can understand how that can be like a slap in the face. But also, we're in the realms of content. And what I liked about the stream, that he's bringing all types of people in there. Of course, the A&P team, he's brought Chris Sean in there, he's brought Drewski in there, he's brought all type of content creators, a lot of content creators we see on TikTok, Uncle Howard, you know, so it's very dope. And I feel like just in general, man, like older heads, OGs, man, we just got respect with time we in now. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we're in a different era, we're in a different time. And I'll reference hip hop, like, once before hip hop, like when it's only been 50 years, but in regards to hip hop, when it first came about, a lot of people looked at it as corny. You know what I'm saying? A facade, something that's just gonna go away. But now I feel like the streamers, they are the new platforms. Like Kai Cenat having 24-hour streams, doing things of this nature. A lot of these celebrities, a lot of these people of power, a lot of these artists are starting to go to him because guess what? He's bringing a lot of viewership. It's a lot of marketing and promotion with that, and then it's a lot of branding that goes into it as well. But what I love about this space that we're in right now, it shows children that you can be creative. You can stream. There's other ways to get revenue as well too. I feel like we focus so much on the hating aspect of things, we don't focus on the positive things. I understand how it could look because you're perceiving jail in a certain way. You know they having fun with it, but also they showing you the real life of it. But we don't say anything when we looking at shows like Beyonce is straight. We don't say anything when we're looking at certain type of shows that show a negative connotation on the community or a negative connotation towards kids. We don't talk about the movies, the TV shows that talk about all these negative type of things. But when you see somebody streaming and you see somebody's popular, you know, you're gonna have a lot of haters on it. And I feel like a lot of people were calling it corny, but I don't see it in that way. I feel like it's content. I feel like, especially in Kai Cenat's position, he's changing the ways, you know, of streaming as well too. Because a lot of streamers, as far as like Twitch and people just streaming, were just like, oh yeah, you're being locked up in your room and you just streaming. But it's showing different ways of creativity as well too. I feel like it was dope, and I feel like it's good to see. You know, because a lot of people are fans of a lot of the content creators that he's bringing onto the stream. So I love it. I really love it. Even though we in the era of this, like, okay, good publicity and bad publicity, regardless is publicity. So it's a good thing regardless. But I feel like it's just dope what he's doing. All right, he's showing another avenue. He's showing kids another avenue to get this money for real. Honestly. Like, the reason why I'm on TikTok Live, why I'm trying to do different things, is because we're in a different space now. I feel like you have to adapt to the different times as well too, especially if you want to be a content creator. And I'm not saying everything you do should just be trying to reach clout. I feel like you should be doing things genuinely. But also I feel like within this portion or era we're in right now, I feel like this is amazing for kids to see that you don't, even though you don't have to get out your house to really make money as well too. It's other ways to make money, revenues, other ways to create. But it also is showing you how consistent he is as well too. What Kai Cenat is, and I respect him so immensely for, is that he stays consistent. Alright? And what we don't get to see is all the things that are behind the scenes of how to actually create this content. I feel like that's very dope that we're in a space where and also it's just in the media space, like I feel like that get overlooked as well too. Like the time and effort and the patience and the consistency you must have in order to get to where you gotta go. We see these influencers turn on their streams and turn on their cameras, but you don't really get to see the work put and the hours put into trying to make this content, all right, and trying to make it perfect. So I feel like what he's doing within the 7-day stream in jail, I can understand how people, other people, especially people that have been in prison, can see that as like, I guess, a slap in the face. But also too, you have people that are locked up that go on live and talk about jail or prison like it's a good place to be. So he just giving a different perspective, and also it's content, man. It's content. We creating content. So I feel like that was dope. And speaking of content creators, man, all right, Keith Lee, famous content creator and former MMA fighter. He talks about the ATL restaurants, all right, and their services. You guys don't know who Keith Lee is? Like he's become a social media and TikTok sensation with his reviews on a lot of the food, and it's very dope because what he's doing is very genuine, and he's actually passionate about it. He really doesn't ask for much within these companies. He's bringing so much revenue towards these companies, whether, like we said, if it's good publicity or bad publicity. In this case, he was just saying that these restaurants are not for him, and a lot of people spoke out with him speaking out as well too. You had Cardi B who was talking about, yeah, you can't really get good service, and Keith Lee, I respected what he said as well too, because it is a lot of times where you go into these restaurants and these certain places and they have so many requirements, and guess what? Their food probably not even the best. Or they pick and choose, because what he said and stated on his live when he was talking about it, he was just stating that he sent his family in there first. They went into Milk and Honey, all right, in Atlanta, and basically the service and the requirements just wasn't for them, all right. And then also he was just saying he just had to go through a lot to really get their food. But when Keith Lee was about to walk in, and then when he walked in with his family, now they're trying to accommodate him in so many different ways, and they just feel like that's fake. That's fake love right there. And like I said, just picking and choosing, that I wouldn't like that either as well too. If I was just about to go to a restaurant, I send my family in, and if I'm famous or a person of notoriety, and all of a sudden I walk in there, now you trying to change the whole scenery. Now you trying to accommodate me? Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. And I like Keith Lee pointing that out, because you do have a lot of product and services, or especially restaurants that really have no type of respect. And I feel like when you are in this customer service space, the main person is the customer. Always please the customer, no matter what. And I feel like a lot of these places lose sight of that. And you got a lot of people that have these attitudes when they walking into work, and that's reflective. That's reflective. And one thing I always say, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. Even though Keith Lee says something, and I wouldn't say it's negative, he just said respectfully it's not for him. But also, he's still bringing you guys business, because now people want to see, okay, is Milk and Honey, what I'm saying, are they really giving good service around here? You feel me? So now you got people that going into the restaurant and trying to see what Keith Lee said. But like I said, it's honestly, it's first impressions. All right, first impressions, man. All right, and they're long lasting. So I feel like what he does, I love what he does, because he's definitely he's giving back to the community when he does. Back, guys, we back. But yeah, just speaking on that, man, you just really never know who's watching. Never know who's watching, for real. So I feel like that's very important within the customer service space. So I love actually what Keith Lee does, and I feel like a lot of these restaurants need to be called out. Because a lot of these restaurants have terrible, and respectfully, I know it's a tough job, but terrible customer service. You know, and also, the worst thing is when you go into a restaurant, it has all the aesthetics, it look good, everything cool, and the customer service is poor, and also the food is poor. Those are the two main things. So I feel like they need to be called out. They need to be called out, respectfully. So I wanted to talk about this, because the conversation was going around about this Drink Champs interview involving Kodak. Kodak is an amazing talent, one of my favorite rappers as well too. It was talks about him just being visibly, you know, he just looked different. He looked off. It kind of looked sick. But like, I just feel like it's a tough situation when you hit the airways and then you stream, and then you also have live videos or live podcasts and Drink Champs, especially involving celebrities, because everybody has their opinion on something, and everybody's going to have an opinion. But in regards to Kodak, in my opinion, we've seen him in a healthier state. He's still a musical genius, but I do feel like when I seen the interview, I couldn't really watch the whole interview as well too, just because it seemed like something was off and something was wrong. He's still an amazing talent, but I'm not saying I hold Drink Champs or Nori or DJ EFN accountable, but like, we on Drink Champs, so I have an understanding of that. But just in regards to like the conversation, you know, him not, you know, just like seeming a little off, that was alarming for real. That was alarming. We don't like to see Kodak like that. And then also you have people that be like, oh well, he talks like this, let him rock, let him live and stuff like that. And then that same person be the one be like, oh well, if something was to happen, oh, why were y'all trying to help him? You know what I'm saying? Looking at it in that type of aspect. So I feel like it's very important that we really out here seek help for these individuals and celebrities. We never know what they're going through. And Kodak is always giving back. He's always within his community. But you can just visibly see something that was just off. You feel me? So within watching that Drink Champs interview, I just wish it just went a little differently. It was still good content. He was freestyling. He was still talking. But you can just tell he was answering. You can just tell something was just off. You know, you can just tell something was just off. And I understand that the premise of the show is to get drunk, you know, to have fun, give them the flowers. But like, in a certain essence, I feel like it may be an accountability of whoever is creating the content, putting the content out there. You know what I'm saying? To be mindful of who you're interviewing. I know a lot goes into it as well too. And I'm not saying just ditch the interview, because at the end of the day, Kodak Black, regardless of anything, he's gonna bring millions of views and people to hit the video. But like, it was just a little sad to see like that. And I'm not trying to say that he was just messed up. It was just, we couldn't really hear him talk. And then like, I've seen many interviews with Kodak, like, been mad. He's been very, very coherent. You know what I'm saying? So that just, it just looked a little funny, you feel me? Like, I just wish they didn't air that interview. But regardless of anything, the interview is out. You know what I'm saying? However people perceive it, they perceive it. I have my own opinion, and just like everybody has their own opinion as well too. So my thoughts on the Kodak Drink Champs interview is just like, you know, at the end of the day, he's a legend and he's a musical genius. I just hope he's good. Simple as that. Alright, simple as that. Prayers to everybody, because I know how much he gives back to the community. I know how much he really cares about rapping. He cares about the game. You know what I'm saying? He really cares about it. You know what I'm saying? He's intellectual as well too. So that's why I was just kind of confusing to see him in that way as well. You know, and I'm not the conspiracy theorist type of person, but you know, it's been speculation like, oh yeah, we seen different, like 3 or 4 different Kodaks, you know, and honestly, that's kind of where I was just looking at as well too. It's just like, he just doesn't look right in this space right now. But like I said, I could be wrong, but prayers to everybody. And honestly, if something is wrong, I hope somebody in his camp is actually helping him and not just being a yes man. I feel like that's a problem a lot within the celebrities or within a certain space, or where you when you have certain type of leverage, a lot of people around you just want to be yes man just to be around you. But the real true friends and the true people in your corner going to actually tell you if something's going on. You feel me? If there is something going on. So that's my perspective on it as well. All right, NBA is back. NBA is back. Hey boy, that boy Wemby, that boy Victor Wemby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say his full name, so I'm gonna say Wemby for real. He the truth. I don't care what anybody say. He's the truth. He's showing that. Back-to-back games against the Suns. He showed off, man. He showed off 38 points he just dropped against the Suns. It's really nothing he can't do. 7-5 moving like that, crossover, the dribble package, the pump fake, playing on both sides of the court. You know what I'm saying? The shot, his decisions in shot making. This man is he's only 19. He's only 19. He is one of those that's going to be a phenom in this game, and he's really picking up on the game fast. For real. Like, and one thing I've really been starting to notice is that the European type of basketball players, they're coming over here and they're shining. They're shining, for real. Like Luka to Joker, to Wemby, of course, Giannis as well too. Like, they're really showing that they're talented, man. There's a lot of talent in this world, and they're coming into the NBA, man, where it's 1% who really makes it. So, like, much respect to him, because he's putting the Spurs on his back, and I feel like he has the perfect coach in this situation. Popovich, veteran coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time, to really lead him, you know what I'm saying, to this path of greatness. So I feel like Wemby, he's the truth. He is the truth. In other regards, Steph, man, Steph. It's so crazy. Now I feel like we're getting old, because Steph is 35. I'm like, goodness gracious, but Steph still playing on MVP caliber level. I feel like when Steph retired, I feel like there's no way he's not going to be in the top 5. It's no way. He's changed the game, not just in this generation, just in general. He's changed basketball forever, and what he does it effortlessly every single year. You know what I'm saying? He's different. And also to LeBron, you know, LeBron different as well too. 38-39, scoring 35 points, 35, 13, and 8. You know what I'm saying? Just different. And then you get to KD. It's like we are blessed to see these type of players, and we really, honestly, make sure we value them while they're here. Because the game is changing. You got the Wemby, you got the Josh, you got Luka. Like, the NBA is going to be very, very in a good space, for real. You know what I'm saying? They're not leaving the game without any talent behind them, but like, it's going to be sad to see KD leave, Curry, the Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be very tough to see them go, because their talent level is just different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's something that we never seen before. And it's a blessing that we actually get to see these type of caliber players on a day in and day out basis. And also something that that's going on right now is the new in-league tournament. I'm not sure if I really like it. As far as competitive wise, I'm not sure if I really like it, because you can have somebody that wins the in-league tournament and not go to the playoffs. So I understand that they're trying different things, trying new things within the NBA. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I feel like within this tournament and within the new league, in-league tournament, I feel like we passing out participation grades at this point. You know what I'm saying? Participation awards, I might say. Because, you know what I'm saying, what is it really for? Like, I'm not really getting it. I don't really understand it. But hey, I just love that the NBA is back. Harden traded. All right, Sixers traded Harden to the Clippers, the new look Clippers. You got Kawhi, you got PG, Westbrook, Harden now, the California boys. All right, which is fire. And that leads me to the conversation about Harden, a top 75 player of all time. He's one of the greatest players of all time. MVP, scoring champion. And if you didn't realize, he's top 5 in three pointers made. It's nothing that Harden can't really do. But I do feel like Harden, he knows how to get out of any situation, man. For real. Like, he does. He know how to get traded. I'll tell you that. He know how to get traded and get to the bag. So I respect him for that. I'm not really sure what to expect from the Clippers because honestly, I feel like since 2019, 2020, since Paul George and Kawhi got on that team, I just feel like injuries have just been destroying that franchise right now. But how they look right now, they look good. Russ looks good. He's back to himself for real. And I'm not saying back to himself, but back to where he can really glow. You feel me? He can really go in. You know what I'm saying? Because Russ, and also he's learning how to play off ball more. So I that's fire. I feel like they can be championship contenders, but it's all about health with them. Like honestly, it's all about them being healthy in the long run. And another conversation that was started and talked about is Harden or AI. Alright? I know Harden has done a lot and he's been successful in his career, but I got AI all day on that. I got AI all day on that. Just for what AI did in his time, that's another pioneer of the game. It would never be another AI. Never be another AI. To all that he went through, to the trials and tribulations he had to go through within his teams, also within the NBA Association, to the world, beating all the odds, being scoring champion, you know what I'm saying, making it to finals daggone near by himself. And I feel like the difference between AI and Harden is I feel like AI is really built for those type of moments. You know, we've seen Harden not be the best in those type of moments. AI is a dog, a different type of animal, a different type of dog. I feel like AI is a once in a lifetime type of player. So let's move on to would you rather. All right, would you rather $50 million right now or to have Spider-Man's powers? Look here, any other time I would have said just hand me my $50 million. But I feel like with Spider-Man powers, it's like the sky's the limit. I feel like also if I become Spider-Man, I'm going to be worth more than $50 million. For sure. And also with Spider-Man powers, so I might choose Spider-Man powers just because I'm different from everybody else. Now I got superhero powers, I'm going to be worth more than $50 million. I'll tell you that right now. Especially of how I would brand myself if I was Spider-Man and if I had Spider-Man powers. And I ain't saying I'm just trying to steal anything like that. But if I'm Spider-Man, bro, this guy's the limit. I'll do whatever. You feel me? I'm doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm robbing the bank and doing anything like that. But I feel like once I become Spider-Man, for real, them dollars are going to come regardless. Any other time, I would say $50 million. I'm going to tell you that. Any other time, I would say $50 million right now. Because the $50 million right now can not only benefit just me, but it can benefit my family. It can change the lives around me as well, too. Like, so... But I feel like Spider-Man powers is just, that's something that's just like you can't even put a price on that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody has ever had superhero powers that I know of, you know, in real life. So I might choose Spider-Man powers. I feel like that would be dope to have. You feel me? And I feel like overall you will accumulate more money. I feel like you accumulate more money if you had Spider-Man powers or if you were Spider-Man. You feel me? That's my opinion. Right? And lastly, let's talk about the NFL real quick. I know you guys probably see me out. Hey, I'm a die-hard Washington fan. I formerly known as the Washington Redskins, now Washington Commanders, but I'm a die-hard. I'm from the DMV area, born and raised. So I just feel like as Washington fans, I speak for all of us. We've been going through so many trials and tribulations. Been through 12 quarterbacks in the last 10 plus years. Organization problems, going through organization with Dan Snyder, all this chaos. But we have the talent on the team. It's just the little things as well too. You know, it goes from the higher ups, especially like GM, the managers. It goes from coaching. I talked about this last podcast. Ron Rivera, man, I'm respectfully, he got to go. You know, change, and that's one thing that's good is change. But to trade our two best pass rushers, or two of our best pass rushers, because we still got Deron Payne and also Jonathan Allen, but our edge rushers, and they would have an amazing season. It hurts, man. And then for second and third rounders, I hate trading players that are valuable for second and third rounders or any type of picks, because you don't know what these picks are going to amount to. You really don't know what these picks are going to amount to at the end of the day. So I feel like it's just a toss-up. I feel like that's a very tricky situation to be in. I know we had to get rid of one of them because we needed salary cap, and also Montez Sweat in particular, his contract year was coming up. So we had to do something, get rid of one of them, but getting rid of both of them, I don't agree with that. And then if you were going to get rid of both of them, get another player in value of such like an O-lineman, which we need. Sam Howell been sacked 40 plus times. It's ridiculous. And Washington fans, I feel you, because I'm 28 years old, and I know my parents and I know my grandfather, they've seen championships, they've seen the golden era. You know what I'm saying? I want that for my team as well. I want to live through that time as well. And I'm a diehard fan, so I'm not just going to give up on them. But it's tough being a fan as well, too, when you have the organization problems, you have players that don't want to play for the coach. You know, then you go out there on Sunday, you got us waiting the whole week for Sunday. We're excited for the game, and then you lay an egg or you don't play up to your competition. That blows me so much when they play amazing versus the top tier teams and then just play down to the level of competition. And I feel like that has a lot to do with coaching as well too. So the NFL trade deadline, man, it was a lot of surprising trades that were being made. But as far as like my team goes, I just feel like one of the main things we have to focus on right now is the leadership as far as coaching. We have to focus on making changes. I'm just tired of having every single year feel like a rebuild year. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And I'm sure those teams out there that feel like their team is under a rebuild year, man, it just gets annoying and it's irritable because you have such a high expectation, and then you go into the season and they just like, oh, you know, you got people paying for season tickets and seeing you lose at home. We tired of that. We don't want to see that. And I feel like what's a prime example of like changing the organization through coaching is Dan Campbell with the Lions, Detroit Lions. He's been there 3 years, and look where they are now. I'm not sure what their record is. I'm sure they're like 5 and 6 and 2, but he's flipped that whole organization around. Coaching, leadership. You know what I'm saying? Holding each other accountable. That's very much so important. Not just sitting on the sideline with your hands crossed, looking at everybody else. And I'm tired of it, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it. A change must happen. You feel me? A change must happen. And I understand that we got second, third rounders, first round picks and stuff like that. But also we need to start focusing on what we need on the actual team, which is one O-lineman, and I feel like linebacker players are two most pivotal positions that we actually need to step up in. So that's just my view on it. We play the Patriots this upcoming week. I went to school in Massachusetts, so I really hope they win this game. I really hope they win this game so we can get on track. You know what I'm saying? Get on track. We got one of the toughest schedules, so we'll see. We'll see. We act like world beaters when we play in Philly, but you gotta finish the game too. You gotta finish the game too. And man, thank you guys so much, man, for the outpouring of love, man. I see you guys below, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the TheFaisonViewPodcast, man. We going up. We going up. I promise you, we going up. And like, if you have any questions, man, make sure you put those in the DM, man. Make sure you put those in the chat, man, so we can talk about these things, man. I want to grow and expand as a podcast, man. Much love. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe to the TheFaisonViewPodcast. We out of here.